making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, yeah. Things we're making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, yeah.
Hi everybody, it's Jenna from Jenna's Stitches. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, so that makes it Things We're Making Thursday. If you didn't already notice from the little jingle at the beginning of the video. Thank you to Jess from J Hook Magic and her husband for creating that. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. If you're unfamiliar with what Things We're Making Thursday is, it is a year-long collab that myself and several other channels are doing, where we pick a free pattern. So far we've only done yarn inspirations, but from anywhere that you can find online, as long as it's free, and we work on it together. And so far it's been a really, really great experience. In January, in January we made a blanket. February we made a basket. Actually, you can kind of see mine right at the corner there. And so far every month everything has just been completely different, as far as yarn choices and things like that. So it's been really fun seeing everybody's creativity come into play for what we've been doing. And like I said, so far we've picked yarn inspirations every month, but it doesn't have to be. It can be any free pattern that we find online. I'm going to have all the channels that are involved linked down below because it is a lot and I don't want to forget anybody, so I'm just going to link them down below. But this was originally started by myself, Heather at Strings and Threads, Darla at It's in the Bag Crochet with Darla, Jess at J Hook Magic, Tiffany at CMM Designs, and Erin at Crafting Kitty. And since then we've had many channels join in, which is absolutely fantastic. If you have a channel and you want to join in, definitely go ahead and let us know so we can add you to the list. I also created a Facebook group mid-January so that people who don't have channels and want to join us definitely can use that as a way to post their progress or post their projects. Or if you don't have a channel and you don't want to make the project either, you can at least see what everybody else is doing. So that's been a lot of fun. And you also always have the option to email progress pictures to myself, probably any other channel on the list, and we can add them to our videos if you don't do Facebook and you don't do YouTube. My nose is running, I'm sorry. I just woke up too. It's 7:35. Well, I woke up like an hour ago, but then I laid in bed and then I had to get the kids ready for school and then I came to record. I feel like I had something else to say about everything, but I think I covered it all. I do have a playlist that I so far only have my videos for Things We're Making Thursday, and so you can go back and watch all the January videos. All the February videos now are in there as well. At some point, I just don't know when, I am going to go through and try to add everybody's videos to it, but there's so many different channels doing it now. I think that might be a little bit hard, but I'm going to try. So eventually I'm going to have that. But I guess that just leads us into March's pattern, and I love March's pattern so far. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but I made a really funny face at the beginning when I was talking about the jingle. It wasn't because of the jingle, it was because my pattern right here, for some reason, has 2 of the second page. And I thought that was a little strange. It's only a 2-page pattern. I don't know why my printer would have printed the second page twice, but here is what we are working on for March. So it's called the Luxe Pillow Trio, and this is a free pattern off Yarn Inspirations. It will be linked down below. I'll also have January and February linked down below in case anybody wants to go back and work on those. It's designed by Lorna Miser. And in the pattern, it does call for Red Heart Dreamy, which on the pattern classifies it as a number 4. The yarn label on Red Heart Dreamy does classify it as a number 5. This yarn is now discontinued, so honestly, none of that really matters, but we all, well, most of us did like a gauge words swatch And it does match up with a number 4. So you could definitely use the number 4 to make this pattern. And then Heather from Strings and Threads had found a Red Heart Dreamy somewhere and compared it side by side to a standard number 4 weight, and it actually looked a little bit thinner to me. So that would be completely fine. I went up to a 6 weight and just adjusted my pattern. So really, whatever you feel like doing, whatever yarn you want to use, go for it. Just because the pattern calls for a number 4, the label says it's a number 5, I used a number 6 and it's coming out perfectly. So just kind of adjust your pattern as you go. So there are 3 different like pillowcases you could choose from, and you can do whatever you want. It is only the first Thursday in March, and it's only March 2nd. So I'll probably make more than one. I didn't plan on it, but I also got a lot of the first one done already, so it's not gonna last me all month at all. Or you guys are gonna see very, very little progress each week. So I might make more than one. I know several other people said they were going to. Some people said they were going to make all 3. Some people said they were going to make 1. If you've been participating in the past and you don't want to participate this month, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. But here is pillowcase number 1. So it's kind of like bobble stitches. Number 2 is this basket weave. And number 3... I don't think you can really see the detail in it, but there are these clusters with a stitch over top of them. So I had originally started the pattern with number 1, because when we chose this pattern, immediately was drawn to number 1, and I was like, I really want to make that. So I started it, I got about 5 or 6 rows in, and I just did not like the look of it, which I should have known. I don't really care for like the popcorn puffs type stitches, especially with a bulky yarn. They were just way too big. It looked silly in my opinion. So I scrapped it and I went ahead and went with pillowcase number 3. So again, you can't really see the detail in this picture of it, but I'll show you mine in a second. I was gonna go with number 2, but the basket we made last month, and I know you can't really see it from here, was a basket weave basket, and I didn't really want to do a whole basket weave again. But I think if I do make a second one, I'm going to go with pillowcase number 2, because again, I just don't really like the look of number 1. My cat came in with vengeance. He just slammed the door against the wall. So what I ended up using, and I've used quite a bit already, and now it's falling apart because I picked it up poorly. But I am using a Karen Spice Cake in the colorway Raspberry Rainbow, which it's so pretty. So it is a bulky number 6. I'm trying to not drop everything. I don't know if that looks focused to you because it didn't to me, but it's 100% acrylic, and there is 239 yards in each ball, cake, whatever you want to call it. This was a limited time only yarn. I don't think it's available anymore. You might get lucky at a Michael's and find it that's still left over from when it was out during the winter season, but I know every Michael's I've been to lately doesn't have them anymore. But here is what I've done so far. And if I bring it up closer, you can see what I was kind of saying. So you do 3 double crochets. You start off with a chain, you skip 1, do 3 double crochets, and then you cross over all 3 of those and go back into the skipped stitch. It's backwards too, now that I look at it. So I made my chain, I skipped this stitch, made my 3 double crochets, and then I brought this in front and went into the skip stitch. And that's kind of just the whole way it's been. I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I like how sturdy it is too. I don't generally work with thicker yarns. I prefer 4 and under, and I don't really care for 4s that much. I'm more of a 3, 2 and 1 weight. But I bought this with the intentions of making pillowcases out of it, so I thought it was kind of a perfect idea. And like I said, just because the pattern calls for a 4, I went with a 6. So it is same front and back, which is kind of cool, why I held it up backwards the first time. And I had already had a pillow that I planned on making a case for, which is why I bought this yarn in the first place, which was a couple months ago. So like it all worked out perfectly. But I got this pillow for Christmas as a gift from, I don't even know who, somebody my husband knows. She gave us like a gift basket, and it's almost like an outdoor pillow. It definitely feels like it's weather resistant, so I was gonna cover it. So I've been using my pillow as a guide. So if I show you, like right now I think I only need one more row and my front is done, because you don't want it bigger than the pillow. You actually want it a little bit smaller for a snug fit. So I only got one more row and I'm done on the front panel, and I can start working on the back to cover the pillow. So if you have the pillow that you're using for the case already, that didn't make any sense. If you have the pillow that you'll be putting the case on already, just use that as your reference guide. I didn't really do a gauge swatch or anything to compare it to the pattern, even though I was using bigger yarn. I just grabbed the pillow and went with it. So I made a chain long enough to cover, and then I've just been working up and then comparing it to the pillow every now and then to make sure it's not where it needs to be yet. And I think, and I'm so sorry that my nose is running, but I think what I might do, I might just make the back the same as the front and stitch them together and not even do the buttons, because on all three of the patterns the back is just double crochet, or is it single? Double crochets. So the whole entire back is just double crochets, and then you actually button it together, which you can make it removable, which is great. I just don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I think I might just go front and back the same and go for it. So we'll see. I guess you'll see probably next week what I decide to do there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun so far. I really enjoyed it. And if I do make another one, I actually might just make it the same with different yarn. Because I have 3 pillows that I have been planning on covering. But I just really, after working on pillowcase number 1, don't care for it. And I don't know if I want to do a full basket weave pillowcase either. So I might just make another one in the 3rd pattern. We'll see. I don't really want them all the same either, though. I don't know. I'm so indecisive. But that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And definitely everybody else who is involved will have their videos up today too, so definitely go make sure to check them out and see what they're working on. The coolest thing about this collaboration is not one person is going to have matching items, even though we followed the same pattern, especially this one with the yarn being discontinued for what the pattern calls for. Unless you already had it, you can't make a pillowcase that matches the pattern. So I'm really excited to see what pattern out of the 3 everybody went with, what kind of yarn, and how everybody's looks. So I hope you enjoyed this, and again, I hope you check out all the other channels, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.